Is that so? Who went yonder?
Lachlan. But I dare say he'll fare all right.
Aye, I expect he will. Who was sent out that way, then?
Ocado. To be honest, sir, I'm a little worried for him.
What? Weren't harpies reported in that area? The lad can't handle those beasts on his own.
This is the first I'm hearing of it. Fie! I want to go to his aid, but we can't just abandon our posts. Say, you seem stout of heart. Would you be willing to go in our stead? 'Tisn't far, only a short ways out from the main gate. You've my thanks. And Ocado's as well.
Let us make haste, that no life may be lost on our account. Sir Ricardo is in need of our aid. Allow me to guide you, Master. I know the person you're looking for.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
Here we go again.
We must focus on finding victory, whatever our discomfort.
Of course.
Well done.
You come to aid me. See, Phil and Enrique sent you to watch my back, did they? Sir. Is that all of them? Yeah, you have my thanks. I do not believe for a moment I could have slain those creatures without your help. I've only just enlisted, and when I thought this could be the end of me, I was paralyzed. You saved me this time, but I won't always be so fortunate. I'll have to train harder, till I have the confidence to face such beasts on my own. Well, I'd best be heading back, but I'll be sure to let my superiors know of your good deed. I hope we meet again someday.
Shall we report our results? Pray, follow me. We're here, Master.
Hail, friend. Many thanks for...
Aye, that it was. The poor sod might not have made it back alive had you not intervened.
'Twas a bit too early for him to be seeing actual combat. That much was made well clear. We'll be extending his training period. The instructors here are well known for whipping recruits into shape with their grueling regimes.
Speaking of training regimes, I must admit I've half a mind to ask you to join us. We could use someone with your experience.
Battle is best avoided here. A common reward. Frustratingly so.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner.
I've just recalled. I found a treasure chest near here during my travels beyond the rift. May I show you to its location?
Dare I say it? We trounced our foe well and true.
We mustn't allow ourselves to become complacent. Take each trial as it comes. Goblins, Master!
Have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness.
I cannot fault your prowess.
Come, follow my example.
I concur.
Rally! Reinforcements have come to aid our foe! Pray, allow me to open yon chest.
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
No harm in picking a few.
Let me get that.
On another note, I've been at this for quite some time and have much to share. If you've need of any advice, just say the word.
My thanks, truly. I hope only to be of assistance.
So this is Melv. The scars left by the dragon's assault are plain to see. Mayhap a walk through the streets would help jog your memory. When the Arisen appears, so too does the dragon. 'Tis an immutable truth of this world.
True enough.
Well met. Pleasure doing business with... Hey, I've toiled long enough.
Oh, at least dreams.
Hast thou forgotten thy destiny, thy charge? That is most unfortunate. But it doth not release thee from thy fate. forth. Thou art arisen. Charge and all.
Can you hear me, sir? Sir, stay with me. Thank goodness. How are you feeling? This is the second time I've watched over you like this, isn't it? Pray, save your thanks. 'Tis only just that I should aid you in turn. After all, 'tis only by your courage that I live today. Had you not leapt between me and that dragon, I know you suffered for it. Such ghastly wounds. And I could not hear your heart beating. It was a miracle that you survived. I'm sorry to hear that, though I cannot say I am surprised. Your burns could easily have killed you outright. A great many were bathed in the dragon's flames that day. All perished. Save you. You must be special, indeed. How else could you have survived to return here?
I am of the Border Watch. Someone with arisen-like abilities came to this village, horn in tow. Know you aught of this?
Has he come for you? We are to part so soon, then. Mayhap you will visit me again someday. Till then, take care. Arisen.
Ah, excellent. You must be the one. You match my soldier's description. I'm glad I found you. The ruler of Vermont, currently convalescing in the capital, became arisen here in this very village. If you claim the same, then word must be borne to the capital. I dispatched a missive before coming here, though I doubt the matter can be settled without your presence. Would you be willing to accompany me to the capital? If you truly are arisen, you will be received with open arms. Oh, but forgive me. I scattered my soldiers in a bid to find you. I would not depart without them. We shall have to wait till they are reassembled. Come to think of it, Sir Leonard was asking after you as well. Mayhap now would be a good time to speak with him. Last I saw, he was having a drink at the inn.
Shall we seek some answers?
Oh, have you some business with the apothecary, sir? Dreadful sorry if I was in your way. Oh, no, I'm not lost or naught, sir. You needn't worry yourself on my account. I'm an apothecary in training, you see. My family runs a little shop in Vernworth. So when I heard tell of a medicine only to be found in this village, I thought I'd come and fetch some for us. Made the journey all by myself as well, if you can believe it. But, well, as luck would have it, I've not enough gold for the medicine. 'Twill be a shame to return empty-handed after coming all this way. But what more can I do? What? You'd do that? You'd get the medicine for me? Suppose there's no harm in that. If you're really sure. Oh, sir, I'd be most grateful. Seems my luck's not as rotten as I thought. I'll wait right here for your return, sir. And many thanks for your kindness.
We could make the fruit froberant ourselves, or simply purchase some at Rune's apothecary here in Melv.
Yes, of course. I see it now.
At last we've arrived. Delivery in hand.
We ought to make the delivery now.
Hello again, sir. Say, have you brought some fruit roberant for me? Oh, so this is what it looks like. Brilliant. Many thanks, sir. I haven't much to offer in return, but I'll be sure to tell Grandfather what you did for us. He'll want to reward you proper like, I'll bet.
One could not have hoped for a gladder outcome.
Fancy a look at my wares? Do come again. Fancy a look at my wares?
Oh, what does this say?
Shall we take a closer look?
Well met. You're the one who saved Ulrika's life, aren't you? She told me all about it. It was a very brave thing you did. I'm in your debt. Ulrika's as good as my daughter. Here, consider this a small token of my gratitude. Now, tell me, are you registered with a guild? Perhaps you already know this, but registering with a guild will grant you Well now, that won't do. You need only speak with the innkeeper to register. Go on, 'twill only take a moment. If there is aught you wish to know of vacations, mayhap I can advise you. 'Tis a vacation for those... I am a fighter myself. Very well. There is no... But I shan't take up any more of your time.
Here at the inn, I get so few customers, you see, that I can manage both roles myself. But enough about me. Did you need something?
A good sleep will ensure we are prepared for the morrow.
Now we've the vim to tackle the day ahead.
Come, we've much to be getting on with.
Ready to forge on?
So this is where you've been.
Come with me to the village entrance. The Watchhead's waiting for you.
Shall we seek some answers? This is generally used as a material.
Ah, you've returned. Good timing, too. I have questions for you. First and foremost, will you accompany me to the capital? My thanks. Are you ready to depart, or do you need some time to prepare? Good. Then let us be on our way.
As a matter of fact, every master I've ever served has favored different tactics. One party I joined consisted only of ranged specialists.
Words worth hearing. Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be in our favor. We must not let down our guard. I grant you roaring flame.
Arisen is the lawful ruler of Vermund. So it has always been. To claim the title is to claim the throne. Yet, not all claims are true. Our kingdom sees many pretenders, and they are not dealt with lightly. Best hope you're not one of them. Regardless, you would do well not to invite my mistrust on our journey.
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
No harm in picking a few.
You have my protection.
Well done, Master!
Another statue? Mayhap 'twill yield us sort of use.
Shall we search for a path to lead us to it? Is there nothing we can do about this obstacle? If a ranged attack is needed, you can count upon my aim. Might I be of assistance?
One can see far to the distance from here.
We are alone here, methinks. Perhaps we might stop a moment and find our bearings.
You have my support.
I'll serve with redoubled vigor this day. Where ought we to go now?
Thank you, thank you. I'm trying to.
Hold here a moment. I shall bid them open the gate.
Who's that you've brought with you, Watchhead, sir?
An Arisen, by all appearances.
An Arisen? Another pretender, you mean? I see the Sovereign's ascension has done little to stop such charlatans from plying their trade.
'Tis uncertain. This one commands the loyalty of the pawns.
What? Impossible. You know as well as I do that there can be but one Arisen, and he's up in the palace.
I'm well aware of how preposterous the idea is, thank you. However, as I do not believe it my place to rule on such a matter, I will make my report to the capital. If the claim is false, we will be rewarded handsomely for our trouble. If the claim is true, however, who can say? All's been arranged. Come, let us pass through the gate.
I'll go and open the chest.
An ox cart was meant to meet us, yet 'tis nowhere in sight.
I am attentive and loyal, and prefer to remain by your side. In battle, I shall follow your lead and prioritize support. Fair travels, Arisen. I shall...
Take me as your shield, Arisen. Upon my fighter's pride, no foe shall... Are you fit to travel? Then let's not dawdle.
Well, we've eaten our fill. What say we settle our stomachs with a few hours' sleep?
Is everyone all right? More marks of the dragon's fury. Its rampage must have weakened the earth here.
I would have preferred not to have to fight so soon, but at least I know I am up to the challenge. We must not let down our guard.
Use these flames to smite our enemies.
Dare I say it? We trounced our foe, well and true.
Overconfidence is an enemy in and of itself. Let us instead strive to better ourselves with every battle.
Begging your pardon, sir, but I'm on duty.
I dare say the cart shan't be traversing this. Onward! It might await us on the road ahead.
Well done!
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon. Try for the same result with our next attack.
This place makes my hair stand on end. Should trouble occur, quiet days are welcome.
Shan't let them run.
I see a ladder yonder, but we can't reach it from here. We'll have to get up there and drop it down. The way forward is unclear. How are we to proceed? You called. Forgive me, but you do not appear to be in need of aid. Now, what might that be?
We ought to take a closer look.
I grant you roaring flame. Quickly, Arisen, you must regain your footing. I suppose there can be no harm in bringing this along.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner.
What's this? We're trapped.
Cyclops! You'd think we'd encounter one here of all places.
Cyclops, our foe has been thrown off balance. There's no better time to strike. Strike fast and true, and our quarry shall fall. I grant your weapon a magical boon. Time we made for the capital, to inform the people of Vernon that the Originals come. Shall we book?
You have my gratitude, sir. Twould seem I misjudged you. I had taken you for another Force Arisen. Goodness knows we see a lot of them. Yet the value you showed in coming to our aid has dispelled such thoughts. Here, take this, as a mark of my trust. Give it to one of the sentinels stationed at the gates to the capital, and you'll be granted an audience with Captain Brandt. You're free to make your own way to the capital now. I see no need to keep you under constant watch, and I'm sure you'll breathe a little easier as well, aye? Of course, if you'd rather continue to accompany us, you are still welcome to join us on the ox cart. 'Tis your decision. Well now. The road's blocked. The cart can't get through like this. A powerful current ought to set this rock to crumble. Ah, here's the cart now. Do you intend to join us? Very well. Board the ox cart and...
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier. Walking everywhere is certainly tiring. As your pack becomes heavier, so too does your step. Perchance you ought to let a few things go.
goblins! What rotten luck!
Stand strong!
We are under attack! Use these flames to smite our enemies.
Heavens preserve. The duty's not all here.
Seems we drove them off. You've my thanks for aiding us. Vernworth isn't far from here. Will you join us the rest of the way? All right. Into the ox cart, then.
I was informed of your coming would be arisen.
Captain Brandt, this individual summoned a pawn through a rift stone. Several witnesses can attest to it. Though I admit I had my doubts at first. 'Twould seem this is no mere deceiver.
This one's not a bad sort. Saved our hides on the way here.
As decreed by the great will of our world, there can only be one arisen. That arisen now resides within the palace. Indeed, he is our sovereign and the rightful ruler of Vermont. It follows, therefore, that this ruffian before us is naught but a pretender. You must submit to questioning. If you value your life, you will not attempt to flee. I shall conduct the interrogation myself. Stand watch outside. I beg your forgiveness for my insolence, Your Majesty. If the Queen Regent had learned of your existence, I fear your life would have been in peril. I had no choice but to treat you as a pretender, lest my actions draw suspicion from watchful eyes. Then you have truly lost your memory? In that case, mayhap I ought to explain the situation before we proceed. You, and no other, are the sovereign, the only legitimate ruler of this kingdom. Some days past, you confronted the dragon in the village of Melv, whereupon you became arisen. The people rejoiced, for our true liege had finally appeared, ending Vermont's long years of council rule. Yet, not all celebrated your coming. Your arrival would have robbed the Queen Regent Disa of everything. During the time of the previous consul, she acted as a queen in her own right, ruling the palace as she saw fit. And just after the consul's passing, when 'twas all but certain that her son would take his father's place, word reached the castle that the Arisen had been found. To Disa, your Majesty's very existence is naught but an obstacle to her own family's continued prosperity. The assassination of the Arisen is an impossible feat for mortal hands. Thus, Disa chose to abduct your Majesty while you recovered from your wounds, in order to rob you of your memory with a fell curse and sell you to Batal as a slave. Following that, She prepared a replacement to serve as the sovereign in your stead. A mere puppet. However, with your majesty returned, I have no intention of twiddling my thumbs as Disa plays her games. I shall devise some plans to further our cause. Pray, visit me a night in the tavern that we might discuss them. This one's cleared of all suspicion, and has my permission to remain in the capital. You are to trouble the good sir no further. Are we clear? Little did I expect to find you here. Let's be on my guard. Sentinels are in no position to defend us.
Pray forgive me, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Consign it! Get back here! You there! Did you see an urchin in a cap run past just now? Can you tell me which way he went? Many thanks. I'll catch that wretch yet.
You're a kind one, aren't you? 'Twould seem I am in your debt. In fact, there's aught I would ask of you if you've the time to spare.
Aha! There you are!
Oh, apologies, but our chat will have to wait. Till next we meet. Farewell.
There's a ladder here.
Welcome to Bjorn's Armory, and quality's what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the price, Just remember, my... die early deaths. Hope to see you again.
Need anything?
Many thanks.
Not buying? That's just as well. Better to be selective than wasteful. The Arisen is ever prudent in the application of coin.
Not every little thing needs reporting.
Well met, sir.
Greetings. Here we conduct all manner of procedures pertaining to vocations. If there is aught I may assist you with, simply say the word. Forgive me, but I'm afraid we are not accepting registration for warriors or sorcerers at this time. You see, as we currently have no archer staves or greatswords on hand, we are unable to outfit new members. And we cannot simply purchase more, as the delivery of arms intent, so regrettably I cannot assist you. Let me see. What else can I tell you of our guild? Methinks Roderick will be able to tell you aught of the stolen. He runs the local armory. May fortune smile upon you, sir.
Let us commence our search without delay. Where to first?
Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost... hospitality in all... All Vernworth.
We must rest, though the sun is still up. The sun may have fallen, but the day is far from over.
Shall we check our packs and be off?
Ready to forge on?
Good evening, sir. I trust you fared all right on the roads, despite the hour? Much obliged. Well met. Always sets me to think.
I've just recalled a little tidbit I heard from the locals. I'll carefully conserve my strength and endeavor to survive every battle by way of sound strategy and defense. How might I aid you at this late hour?
The rules at your leisure.
What delights might there be to find in town? Not a care in the world.
Your Majesty, your timing is impeccable. I just thought to call for you. 'Tis not a matter for prying ears. Pray, let us speak out here.
Well met, sir.
As I informed you when last we spoke, the palace is filled with the Queen Regent's sycophants. Should Disa denounce your Majesty as a false arisen, few would elect to doubt her. Yet if we are to prove your identity, I believe there is no occasion more suitable than the coronation. It was delayed so that the sovereign, that is, the false arisen, could convalesce in the palace, but the date has now been set. The central players in the court ought all be in attendance. 'Twould be a fine opportunity to display your Majesty's power. None would be able to deny that you are the true arisen then. There is a problem, however. Entry to such an event is limited to the chosen few. Only select members of the nobility and citizens who have contributed greatly to Vermont's continued prosperity will be granted entry. If your Majesty is to be counted among them, you will need to attend to a number of tasks. Pray, allow me to summarize them for you. The citizenry have called upon my soldiers to cull monsters that plague the land. I dare say, 'twould be a fine contribution were you to accomplish these tasks unaided. What say you? Might I ask for your cooperation in this matter? I thank you, Your Majesty. There are 3 locales that have seen significant trouble of late. The first is Trevo Mine, to the northwest. We've had reports of goblins swarming in great numbers. Next is Half Village, west of Vernworth. I believe soldiers have already been dispatched to cull an infestation of saurians there. Finally, there is a call for someone to locate a group of soldiers tasked with delivering freight. They were last seen crossing the second bridge on the eastern edge of Vermont.
There is no shortage of...
There is much we ought to tend to. If we are to strengthen your Majesty, you will need to infiltrate the palace to gather evidence of Disa's misdeeds. I hesitate to ask something so dangerous of you. Yet I fear we have few other options. I have attempted to do the same through my own channels afore now. Though, I have yet to uncover so much as a whisper of her plots. Would that I could undertake the task myself, but my station prohibits me from reckless action. What say you, Your Majesty? Might I ask this task of you? I shall ensure that the door to the Queen Regent's office is open between midnight and dawn. Pray use that time to conduct your investigation. There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim. Of all those who serve the Queen Regent, there is but one who I have no doubt will lend his support to your Majesty's cause. I refer to Waldar, a magistrate. Many a time has Disa demanded Waldar amend the Code of Vermont to her own benefit, and many a time has the magistrate refused her, for he is loyal to none but the spirit of the law. As a result, he now sits in a cell beneath the palace. Our laws dictate that your Majesty is our rightful ruler. Thus, as the staunchest supporter of the law known to the palace, I'm quite confident that Waldor will be willing to vouch for your Majesty. What say you? Might you be willing to aid me in arranging the magistrate's release? I've prepared a means for you to enter the palace dungeons. Pray, take this. This mission demands the utmost secrecy. Prithee be cautious, your Majesty. Should you be discovered, I will be unable to lend aught in the way of aid.
Well met, sir.
What else needs doing? Must remember to dust the take their eyes off me.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master story.
Oi there, friend. Care to help a fellow out? All I ask is that you hear my request. What have you got to lose? My thanks, sir. As to the matter at hand, it concerns my ox cart business. I've been holding off service on account of all the monsters on the road, but now I feel prepared to start making trips to Melv again. Only trouble is, there are still monsters about, and I can't help but worry for the safety of the carts. That's where you come in. See, I've got a letter here from Lady Margit, the Watchhead's wife, to be delivered to one Sir Leonard in Melv. I'd like you to accompany the cart in my stead and see to it that the letter reaches its recipient. What say you, friend? Splendid! Now, the carts only depart at certain hours of the day, but I find that time flies when I take a seat at the station to wait. And mind you, don't forget to pay your way before you. Each cart travels with an escort of... So anyone thinking of riding for free will have to take the issue up with them. But enough of my lecturing. Just make sure that letter gets to Sir Leonard. Oh, and I'll pay your fare this time, seeing as you're doing me a favour and all. Come find me when you've delivered that letter. I'll be waiting to hear from.
Let us see this delivered swiftly and intact.
Ox carts make for relatively safer travel.
Walking everywhere is certainly tiring.
This ox cart's bound for Melv. I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
You'll like to run into some... Should the cart be assailed, 'twill be your job.
This ox cart's... I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
Lost track of time. This place is too comfortable.
What to do?
A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
Let me think on this a moment.
Everyone's as tired as I am. My bed calls. As sharp as
Some peas.
Lots to do. And precious little time. What am I to do? He really ought to have returned by now. Mayhap. This time I went looking for it. That place puts my ears. Yet it ought to befall him. I couldn't live with myself. Lots to do. How precious. Gold days for us are assigned to What am I to do? He really ought to have returned by now. Mayhap 'tis time I went looking for it. That place puts my hairs on end. Yet if it were to befall him, I couldn't live with myself.
I'll gladly stay a while.
Come rain or shine, I'll make the best of it. At least here I can let that one turn. Solitary shard is good for little. We need to seek out more of these, if 'tis to be of use.
We ought to keep it with care, lest we lose it.
What am I to do? He really ought to have returned by now. Mayhap 'tis... Is that you, Norbert? Oh, fie. I got my hopes up for naught. Wait, listen. Would you be willing to search for my brother? The brave fool said he was going to look for her. I'd go and search for him myself. I'm not afraid of monsters, so I thought... Please, sir. I worry for my... Many thanks. Go into the forest. This won't work, will... My brother and I are the only ones who use that path to my... I suppose there's only one thing. I'll have to show you them. Just be alert. I'll need you to watch over me. Right. In we...
Perhaps we ought to hurry, lest we arrive too late to be obeyed.
Time to be heading home.
Hale, if you've a moment to spare, I'd like a word. As you can see, we're rebuilding. A task that can always benefit from another pair of hands. What say you? Would you be willing to help? Excellent. You're a good sort. I'll not soon forget. Here's what I need from you. A basque of saurians has made their nest outside the village. Though they're yet to cause any harm, their proximity may... I'd like to enlist your aid in driving them away. I've prepared some explosive casks and left them by the village entrance. Use...
A saurian nest so near the...
Aye, what can I do for you? Ah, a letter from Lady Margaret, you say? It is a fair way you've come, then. My thanks. She's a kindly sort, I must say. We met when I worked with her husband, Sir Gregor, on one occasion. Now she's taken to inquiring after my health at the turn of every season.
Our results are awaited. What say we make our report?
Ours is a party of women, by and large.
And yet, no two of us are the same.
I enjoy tackling fierce foes and prefer
I don't like this place at all.
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
This is a good spot. Let's stop here a moment. I've camped here with my brother many a time. No doubt he caught his breath here before moving on, same as... Follow me. We ought press on, lest aught befall my brother.
Goodness. We're higher up than I'd thought.
Take care not to fall.
We've got goblins!
We have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness.
You're soaked! Do try not to catch cold.
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
That was well fought. There's no one standing who might say otherwise. We mustn't allow ourselves to become complacent. Take each trial as it comes.
Can anyone hear me?
Norbert, are you hurt?
The enemy retreats. It is the mark of a champion to prevail with weapon sheath.
That's it. I've had enough.
In the end, 'twas all for naught. I'd thought I was done for.
Aye, 'twas a near thing. How are you feeling?
I think I'll be all right. But if you hadn't come for me, Thanks, Ian.
Save your thanks, Norbert. I'm your brother. And I ought to have come sooner.
From where I'm standing, all that matters is that you made it in time. Anyway, I'm eager to be rid of this place. Let's return to the village, shall we? The sooner the better. I've got to deliver these medicinal herbs to the people who need them.
Aye, you'll hear no complaints from me. Let's be off then.
Let us take every precaution that we might see our charge delivered safely.
This is my sort of place, the more than... This is my sort of place, the more the merrier.
Back at last. That was an ordeal.
Aye, I'm exhausted, but I can rest after I've delivered these herbs. I'll be back soon.
Good on you. Just take care, all right? You wonder why I don't follow him? So long as he stays away from that forest, he'll be fine on his own. When my brother told me he was going to fetch those herbs, I refused to join him. Said it was too dangerous. What with the monsters acting strangely of late. And I was right. But mayhap none of this would have happened had I only gone with him. My brother is always the one taking the initiative, while I stand around with my hands in my pockets. But today's misadventure showed me that the path forward is the one with fewer regrets. Even when you can't be sure where it leads. We managed to save Norbert, and perhaps that's all that matters. Still, I can't help but wonder if I couldn't have spared him some of the pain and fear he suffered. If I'd only steeled myself sooner. So from now on, I'm going to trust in my own instincts. Ne'er again will I let fear stop me from doing what I know to be right.
Was Sir Norbert safely returned? Melves shan't lack for medicinal herbs. 2 good deeds in one, you might say.
Tis a glad thing we trusted when we did. We must not let down our guard.
I grant your weapon a magical boon.
Feels eerie with no one about.
That Lady Margaret's a kindly sort. We met when well, that appears to have sent some of the beasts reeling, at least. To finish the job, I'd have you drop a jar of poison into their nest. With any luck, the Saurians will realize that they chose a perilous spot, but pray, take care not to drop it in the river. The villagers use that water on a daily... You must make sure your aim is true. Good. You'll find the jars of poison just outside the village.
Now we are to throw a jar of poison. Be sure to handle it with care, Master.
Well done, Master. Those Saurians shan't dare approach the village for some time, thanks to your efforts.
'Twas a pleasure to recount such good tidings.
You've done as I asked, I see. Many thanks for your efforts. And I must say, you've a fine arm. I couldn't have done better myself. Watching you got me thinking. Mayhap you've the sense to inherit the skills I possess. Or perhaps 'tis a little early for such talk. In any event, thanks to the work you've done for us today, the rebuilding efforts ought to proceed apace. And for that, I'm grateful.
Our task is complete. That was certainly worthwhile.
We have done what we set out to do, and that is well enough.
Our efforts have been rewarded. An ox cart ought to make our journey easier.
It would allow us to save our strength. Assuming we're not attacked, that is.
This ox cart's bound. I'll need to see some coin before I let you on. What should I get up to today?
Ah, returned. How did you fare on the journey to Melve? Splendid! You've been an immense help, I must say. The cart reached its destination safe and sound, and from the tell of it, you even rid the road of a few monsters. You've certainly earned a reward, my friend. Here you are.
Ox carts seem a convenient choice for longer journeys. I see no harm in making use of them as needed, Master.
I quite agree.
Might I interest you in my humble wares? Much obliged, sir. Well met. Looking to me. Make a purchase. Much obliged, sir.
No purchases to be made today, I see. I just hope the shopkeep understands.
That's it. I've had enough. Clear off. And don't come back till you're ready to do business properly.
But I've got the coin. I swear it. I simply just...
Where is it then, eh? Bring the coin, all of it, or I'll call the sentinels on you again. Are we clear?
'Tis uncommon for a lad of his age to be unable.
Hmm? Oh, 'tis you. You're the good sir who aided me in Melve. Thank you again, sir. You don't know how grateful I am to you.
Well met, sir. Forgive my presumption, but were you the one who gave my granddaughter that medicine in Melve? I thought so. She's not stopped talking of her adventure since she arrived home. You have my sincerest thanks for aiding her. That girl's always running off on some fool's errand. Now listen, 'tisn't much, but I'd fain offer you a discount on my wares. Pray, make good use of it, won't you? Welcome and well met. Don't think I've forgotten your discount. Do come again.
Aught you need of me?